Hello and welcome to Ignite Motorrad Rides. I'm Devashish Puranik and today you join me on our ride to Alibaug. You'll be experiencing the whole ride from my point of view as I filmed the whole ride using a noise play action camera mounted on my helmet using a chin strap. The five of us set off at around 3:30 am in the darkness, after which inevitably it started raining. Our bike convoy consisted of me on my Pulsar NS200, Aryan on his Yamaha R15 version 3, Suyog on his Yamaha MT15, Anish with his Interceptor 650 and Jayraj on his Harley Street 750. The auxiliary lights which me and Aryan got fitted onto our bikes were proving to be extremely useful in the darkness. Here we can see the Yamaha brothers, the MT15 and the R15 overtaking me from either side. Because of the rain, there is a fair amount of raindrops accumulating on the camera lens as you can see here, but that will get better once the rain reduces gradually and after the sun comes out things get a lot clearer as well. We reached Lonavala fairly quickly, so we decided to take a small halt on the side of the road, but we definitely weren't going to get a dry halt. It was still pouring with rain. It was crazy wet everywhere. In fact, I think I parked my bike in a puddle next to the mud or something. I can't even remember properly. Here I did a small amount of vlogging about our ride progress for our Instagram page, Ignite Motorrad, which you should totally follow if you haven't already. So you can see how our rides progress as they happen and also an insane amount of cool biking content. Okay, so eventually the darkness did fade away. And here we can see the sky getting brighter and more blue actually. There's a very cool tone to the overall surroundings, and we were just appreciating the beauty of our surroundings as we were in the ghat section. So the mountain ranges were just looking absolutely gorgeous. The roads were extremely wet on our entire ride, so all of us really had to analyze how much grip we were getting from our tires on such a road condition so that we would have a safe ride all the way. Jayraj in particular was being a little more cautious because his tires are sort of due for a change. I think he might have changed them by now, but unfortunately he didn't get the Michelins he wanted before the ride, but his existing tires still performed exceptionally well for the entire duration of the ride, so no issues there. The road surface varied a lot, as was to be expected from any motorcycle ride. So while certain patches were just downright rough, which you'll see in later stages of the video, some places were just moderately uneven where we could, feel our suspension doing its thing, but still manageable at moderate to high speeds. One of many water splashes. Eventually it just became a game to see who could soak the other person the most. Got quite fun later on. We did have to check and see if we were on the right road a few times. The police helped us out sometimes the locals helped us out, and most of the times Google Maps was working perfectly. Jayraj had his Google Maps on, I had ride tracking on, so we could see the stats later on. And that went pretty smoothly overall. This was just a little bit before we stopped to have a cup of tea, which was really comforting since we were all wearing waterproof clothing, but we were still cold and damp to a certain extent, and we were taking stops when we felt like it. We weren't taking too many stops because that sort of defeats the purpose, but we weren't being stingy about them either since it was a leisure ride, so we were going by our own rules, just having fun. Riding through the ghats is always so much fun. The roads are super exciting because of the twisties, and the views are just terrific. This time we didn't stop to take pictures or anything because we wanted to reach on time, we wanted to reach before breakfast, but I swear it was just so enjoyable to ride through and see the mountains. Yeah, this is what happens when you overtake the guy who set the GPS and knows where to go, and then you come at a fork, but he was right behind us, so no issues. Here the visibility of the video is much better, as you can see, because it's even brighter, so the droplets on the camera lens aren't as visible as they were before, and the surroundings are slightly different as well. We've sort of finished the ghat section. We've definitely finished the ghat section, and we're in a more rural environment now, which posed different kinds of roads, different kinds of surroundings. By different kinds of roads, obviously what I mean here is really bad roads, insane speed breakers which we didn't always spot because They were kind of invisible, they're not painted in these parts. And road works going on here and there, loose gravel, but it was fun. I kind of like mild off-roading, to be honest. I mean, I might get dual sport tires once these wear out in a few years, but I'm not sure. That's a decision for another day. The problem, as we all know, in riding or driving for that matter, in the aftermath of heavy rain is you can't see how deep a pothole is. So you either have to swerve to avoid them, or if you can't swerve, you just have to pray that it's not too deep. And yes, wherever we thought we could safely get the speed up, we did, because, well, it's fun, that's why. Right, time to put the MT15 back in its place. Okay, never mind. The water splashing competition. Me 1, Anish 0. Sorry about that, man. A little while later, Jayraj hit me with this huge water splash. Fun fact, Aryan likes to be the fastest in the group. He just does. When we went to Chaufula, he went so far ahead of me because obviously the R15 is much quicker than my Pulsar, and Aryan also weighs a whole lot less than me. He actually had to stop and wait for 5 or 10 minutes ahead, so yeah, he likes to be the fast one. He is one of the quicker ones actually, he's pretty quick. This ride video is quite long. I mean, it's easily the longest video we've ever uploaded on the channel, but that's only because I wanted to preserve as many aspects of it as possible, the different terrains, the different types of nature. I just wanted it to be there so we could watch it, you guys can watch it, experience it with us. So 19 minutes, there you go. When we stopped later on to examine our hands, because everybody's hands had gotten quite wrinkly and weird, and some of the guys also had their gloves color rubbing off onto their fingers. The ironic thing was, I have the cheapest gloves here, but my hands looked the least wrinkly out of the 5, and no color rubbing off onto my fingers. Weird. Obviously, the others were much more protective. I do intend to get new gloves fairly soon. Maybe the waterproofing is better on mine, I don't know. I've written an article about our Alibaug ride on our website www.ignitemotorrad.com, so go check that out as well. think if there was gonna be relatively one constant factor throughout the ride, it would be the beauty of the surroundings. I mean, it was different everywhere. As you can see, this road is much narrower than the previous one. The previous road was beautiful in a different manner. Not gonna get philosophical, just saying it was a pretty damn scenic ride. Yeah, Anish got me back good for the earlier time I splashed him with water. This one was massive. He's gonna get 2 points for that because that was a wave, dude. A quick clip from inside one of the 2 rooms we had, which we were staying in. Prakashman Cottage was really nice, very accommodating, phenomenal food, really friendly staff. Overall, a really good experience. The beach was quite literally next to the place we were staying. It was a short trail backwards through this path. We usually walked when we went to the beach, which was quite a few times during the day we were there. Aryan had told me that the beach was next to Prakashman Cottage since he had visited here previously, which is why we were so confident about going here this time. But this time I was going on the bike because this shot was taken just before we left to go back to Pune, since we wanted to take a group picture, which is actually the thumbnail of this video. The beach itself was decent. I mean, if you wade into the water, it was fine. I mean, we played frisbee there. We took our bikes on the beach, which is also allowed here, and that was pretty fun. So after we were done taking pictures using Jayraj's fantastic gimbal, we set off back on the road to Pune. Okay, so if you're wondering what this is, it's me, Aryan and Suyog being smug that we don't need more fuel to take us back to Pune. Our tanks lasted to Alibaug, back home, and the next few days for our daily commuting in Pune. The Harley and the Interceptor, however, did need a substantial amount of refueling while going back. They're thirsty machines. The state of the beach was just dreadful. I'm not even going to include it in this video. It's just filthy. It's Kihim Beach, Alibaug, if anybody wants a point of reference. There was just so much trash. It was really, really disgusting. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I post quite a lot of bike content on my profile as well. I've posted a picture of me sitting on the sand next to the bike, next to my bike on this beach. I had to take a good 20 to 25 minutes photoshopping trash out of the picture. I swear to God, man, people have got to stop littering in public areas. It just makes the surroundings so disgusting. I mean, use the bins, carry it with you until you find a bin. Littering is just one of the most pathetic things a human being can do. Littering your own surroundings, where you live, where other people enjoy. Throwing trash there is just the most stupid thing you can possibly do. So I swear, stop littering. I cannot stress this enough. The Harley and the Interceptor were also the ones that lost the most air while going to Alibaug. Might have something to do with the fact that they are the heaviest. Could also have something to do with the fact that the 2 Yamahas and my Pulsar were filled with nitrogen and theirs were filled with normal air. I'm not exactly sure what the reason could have been. Jayraj might have had a puncture on the way. He did hear a bursting sound which we were unable to diagnose at the time. But while going back, we did check the tire pressures of the bikes, and Jayraj only had 11 psi in the front, which is really low actually. It's catastrophically low. Okay, so that is a Skoda Kushaq testing vehicle which we spotted. I think there was an Octavia behind it as well. There were 2 Skodas. There's quite a lot of car testing in this area. But here ahead, the cops did also stop us, which is something we always prepare for, but something that doesn't always happen. Of course, we had all the necessary papers, so I mean, nothing left to chance. I just showed the cops everything. I mean, my license, my RC, as well as my insurance, because I had everything, so why not show it, right? So that took around, I think it took like 4 or 5 minutes, because there were other people which also had to be checked for papers as well. So we showed them our papers. They told us to ride safely and slowly, since this was the part just before the climb to Lonavala, and we were on our way. The ghat climb, as usual, was one of the highlights of the return journey. Twisties while climbing, I find them really thrilling. I think the others do too. I mean, who wouldn't really? We stopped here to take pictures because we realized that we hadn't taken solo pictures of us on our bikes in full gear in Alibaug. So that is something that we wanted to do. And since you haven't seen me for all of this ride, since I'm the one who shot the video, this is what I look like. I think it's a really cool picture. Jayraj takes pretty good pictures. So once that was done, we set off again. Okay, this is us setting off from a different point, not the photo spot. So we set off from the photo spot, stopped near Maganlal Chikki because Jayraj and Aryan wanted to buy chikki and fudge, and then Jayraj realized that he didn't have space in his bag. So he came to me. My bag did have space because it's enormous, and so in the insane rain, we quickly took off the rain cover, put the chikki in, closed the bag again. And this was, I think, one of the largest rainstorms that we had for the duration of the ride. I think most people who do motorcycling will prefer riding through the rain than riding in extreme heat. I mean, I certainly do, and these four guys, I'm pretty sure they do as well. It's just more enjoyable in my opinion. Problems with the bikes? Well, the third-party accessories that me and Aryan have fitted to our bikes went slightly wrong, but no big deal. My right auxiliary light became a little bit loose, and Aryan's left winglet became a little loose. His winglet automatically tightened the next day after we got back to Pune. I think it just had to dry out, no big deal. Jayraj's front headlight cowl came off on a really harsh speed breaker that both of us hit at quite a high speed, which we didn't see. They really should paint speed breakers there. But apparently it was a little loose to begin with, so I think he was expecting it to a certain extent. The Interceptor and the Harley had their minor air issues, which they sorted out on the way back by refilling, which pretty much sorted it out. And the MT15, which doesn't have any third-party accessories and is also the newest bike here, no issues at all, not even a small one. Familiar highways are always a comforting sight after a ride. It means in your home. The ride was just absolutely terrific. We had a blast while riding to Alibaug and riding back to Pune the next day. The roads changed, the weather changed, the terrain changed, the surroundings changed. It was absolutely fantastic. It was thrilling, it was exhilarating. All five of us had a massive blast. We had very different types of bikes, different displacements, but still we rode as a pack. Everything went as planned. It went smoothly, no mishaps happened. The ride was absolutely brilliant, and I'm gonna try and go on more rides and make more videos for you guys to watch. If I don't manage, we always have more videos in the pipeline for you guys. The next one is the BMW G310R BS6 review, so don't miss that. And I really do hope you guys enjoyed this ride video because it was just fantastic fun. And for more biking content, do follow Ignite Motorrad, as well as my channel partner and very good friend KV and myself on Instagram. We do post a lot of biking content. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, comment what you feel, any other locations where you'd like us to ride, and do share it with your friends and family. Ride safe.